Okay. Well, this is one of those games, again, playoff stakes are up for grabs, so this is one of those games where every snap matters just a little bit more, and Rock Creek comes in with one of the most explosive offenses in all of 3A football. And Smoky Valley, man, they'll be fighting to prove they belong and they can shake up these playoffs.
Well, exactly, and they come in as the underdogs, and so you got to be ready for anything if you're Rock Creek because they have nothing to lose, and all the pressure is on the Mustangs.
Absolutely, and so this is one of those games tonight where let's talk some numbers. So Rock Creek does have the statistical advantage. So if we're looking at numbers, Rock Creek has put up some ridiculous ones this season. So we're looking at 3,400 total yards on offense to their opponents, 1,052. So that's 3,400 to 1,052. There's 211 passing yards per game and 214 yards rushing per game. We'll get into the individual contributors to those numbers, but lots of passing yards, lots of running yards. 24 passing touchdowns and 27 rushing touchdowns on the season. And then one of the biggest stats that stuck out to me is the fact that Rock Creek has had 165 first downs while holding all of their opponents combined throughout the entire season to just 56. So that's a 3-to-1 average.
Yeah, that's dominant, the stats. And one thing that really stuck out to me was how balanced they are. When Coach Smith started the offense here under Coach Sieben, I kept thinking it's going to be run and gun and throwing it all over the yard, and it's so balanced. 211 passing, 214 rushing yards per game, so it's really about as balanced as you get.
And then individual contributors as well. All of our individuals from Tate Smith at quarterback to Zion Bell, even Gavin Rosa earlier on in the season. I mean, if you could just go through the numbers of the individual players, we've got some good individual standouts this year.
Well, we do. And, if you look at Tate's, he took over for the last 4 games. He has a 71, almost 72% completion percentage. Anytime at a high school quarterback can be over 60%, you feel really fortunate. I was always shooting for 45 to 50. I always told my quarterbacks, it's like a hand grenade. Just get it close, and we'll try to catch it. But in those 4 games, he's had 17 touchdowns, and I know he has 2 interceptions that came last week. And then Gavin had 7 touchdowns in the first 4 games. So they've scored at a high rate. And then you got a great running attack with Zion Bell. I didn't realize he was as fast as he was, but he's carried the ball. He has 1,224 yards and 19 touchdowns, and that's almost 7 yards per carry. They have all kinds of weapons receiver-wise. Luke Skinner is 500 yards and 6 TDs, but they have several receivers, and when they got Peter Martini back, he's a big receiver, and he really threatens the defense all over the field. Then on defense, they're really good.
Absolutely.
Only allowing 44 rushing yards per game and 86 passing yards. They have 19 sacks and 8 interceptions. The defense is probably the best defense that I've seen at Rock Creek in a long time.
It's pretty crazy when you really get into it. It's been a pretty good season so far for Rock Creek as we see the teams coming out onto the field. Tomorrow night, Halloween, we got our band coming off the field. Every band member is dressed in their respective costumes. But before we send it out to the field, and our sideline reporter, Xander Dick, he'll be going to the coin toss with the head White Hats. We do want to look at Smoky Valley so far. So Smoky Valley comes from a tough Central Kansas League schedule, and their offense has struggled at times. They do average around 58 yards rushing per game, around 14 yards passing per game. So that means we'll need to create some chaos, some trick plays, some short possessions, anything to keep this game close, right?
Well, that's what as far as defensive football, you got to be prepared for anything because they have nothing to lose. There's no pressure on them. They do like to run the football. That's their key, is running the football. And if they can do that, they're going to be able to control the clock a little bit. And so I think we'll see them try to establish that run early.
Absolutely. So the routes to victory tonight for Rock Creek. So, Coach, what must Rock Creek execute tonight to move on to week number 10?
Well, they need to start fast. This is the first starting playoff game for Tate Smith and probably some of those other young kids, but they do have the experience in the playoffs the last couple of years. And then they need to stay disciplined on defense because, like we already talked about, Smoky Valley is going to pull everything out that they've ever had and probably some things they've never had until this week. And then they need to protect the football. Don't turn that thing over because that's when momentum's going to swing.
So now if Rock Creek can play clean and physical, this crowd will certainly be celebrating post-game. And what would it take for a Smoky Valley upset? What would that look like?
Well, You know how Army controlled the ball against K-State?
It's a great example.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they have to do. They need to take the ball, and they need to tell their kids it's 3 yards. Just get me 3 yards. We'll go for it on 4th down, and they need to keep the ball away from our offense. They need to win special teams, and I watched some of the film from last week, and they just about broke a punt for a touchdown, and they also just about broke a kickoff for a touchdown. So they have an opportunity there in special teams, and then put Rock Creek in 3rd and long and make them make a big play to get a 1st down.
Well, those are our routes to victory with Coach Mike Beam, presented by Backroads Broadcasting. Once again, welcome to the Rock Flush America, Rock Creek High School. Tonight we have the first playoff game, the first round of 4 potential playoff rounds tonight, as the number 2 seed Rock Creek Mustangs host the number 15 seed, the Smoky Valley Vikings. We're just about to sit it down to our field. We're going to be talking to our sideline reporter on the night. It's pretty cool. So he's a senior in high school, and good old Xander Dick is heading out with our White Hats, where they're going to be taking it out for the coin toss. Mr. Xander, take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Tyler, and we're just about to get to the coin toss.
Captains for tonight, Smoky Valley, number 4, Andrew Walker, for 15, Tyler.
Guys, introduce yourself, take hands.
And number 76, Rob Gangler. For the Mustangs, number 15,
It turns out to be pretty cool. That'll work. It was good timing, too.
Number 54, Allen.
To your team tonight.
23,
I want
Jackson
you guys to have
Fiddle.
good leadership on the field. Make sure your teammates showing good sportsmanship, okay? If you have any issues, I want you to bring them to us. If your teammates have issues, they go to you guys. You talk to us. We'll do the best we can to help out the situation, right?
It actually sounds pretty good.
Make sure you're making safe tackles. See what you're hitting. Keep your heads up. Use your heads in the game. Don't use your helmets, all right?
I love it. I love it so
Smoky Valley,
much.
your visiting team. You're going to be calling it tonight on the toss. This is heads. This is tails. What are you going to call? All right, here we go. It is tails. Smoky, you want to toss? Choose to defer. Rock Creek, you have the option this half. You don't take choose to receive.
Rock's going to receive, right? Did you hear that? Rock's receiving. You can say that. We're not on.
Toss. It chose to defer.
Smoky deferred.
Smoky
Okay.
Valley is
Yeah.
one.
So, yeah, we're
So
going
you want
to
deferred.
Gentlemen, shake hands. Good luck. Play hard.
All right, Xander, go.
Well, guys, if you just heard, Rock Creek will be receiving the ball this half, and Smoky Valley will be receiving it second half. Tonight, down here, it's pretty cold. I don't know about you, Tyler. Pretty warm up there, probably. But to kind of summarize what I got to talk to you about, I got to talk to both head coaches for Rock Creek. Main summary for Rock Creek is just being physical and more towards the ball, and just being more physical on the D line. The O line is pretty stout. And then for Smoky Valley, it's just keeping the crowd silent and able to
So when he's done, come back out and say
keep players out of their way. So for Rock Creek tonight, it's just keeping everything as they've been doing all year. And for Smoky Valley, it's just keeping their best players from making big plays. So back up to you, Tyler.
Hey, Xander, thanks for doing that for us. And also, stay out of the way, bud. Don't get run over down there.
Well, once again, that's Xander Dick, high school senior. He's been the color analyst all season long. He's going to be our sideline reporter tonight, Xander. Excellent job, sir. Thank you so much. Once again, to recap the coin toss, Smoky Valley did win. They are deferring to the second half, but Rock Creek will be receiving the ball. And, of course, the team has played with a lot of heart all year, so we know it's on the line. Seniors don't want this to be their last game under the lights, as we're just moments away from kickoff. And, of course, before we take a break, as Rock Creek continues throughout the playoff push, there's never been a better time for local businesses to get in the game with Backroads Broadcasting. You can sponsor the pregame show. You can sponsor our routes to victory. You can join us for playoff postgame shows and highlight packages. If you want to be a part of our broadcast, just email sales@brbc.live to secure your spot while availability remains. Coach, kickoff is moments away. Rock Creek hosting Smoky Valley in the first round of the 3A state playoffs. You win in advance. What's your thoughts right before we kick this ball off?
Well, if you can't get excited for a playoff football game, you don't have a heart. So, I'm excited just standing here watching this. So here we go.
Absolutely. As we got kickoff from the Rock, this one is going to be taken. Looks like number 16 is going to be taking the ball. And that's going to be a return for a kickoff. That's going to be a touchdown return for a touchdown, and that's going to be Jacob Perkins. That's going to be our sophomore wide receiver picking the ball up and housing it. It was a bit of a swift kick. Jacob, I mean, I had to scramble through the back and look at the original roster to find who it was. Jacob Perkins, a sophomore, grabbing that ball, housing it, taking it all the way, and Rock Creek is going to be starting off just like that, 12 seconds off the clock with the 6-0 lead.
What an awesome start to the game if you're a Rock Creek Mustang. You know, Jacob is really fast, and he did a great job of breaking it to the sideline. And he scooped the ball. He didn't hesitate. He just took it to the sideline and went, took it to the house.
Absolutely. For Rock Creek, that is a picture-perfect start. For Smoky Valley, that just kind of makes your heart sit at the bottom of your stomach as Jackson Pendle does add the extra PAT, and that is a big touchdown. Of course, every touchdown tonight and all season long has been brought to you by our good friends at Faith Furniture. If you have the scores brought to you by Faith Furniture in Manhattan, you've got to have faith. 7-0 early lead, 11:47 left here in the opening period from the Rock. Coach, being a coach on these sidelines for 28 years, opening round of the playoffs, what would a kickoff return mean to your teams when you were coaching back in the day?
It kind of scares you a little bit because now you hope that your kids don't let down, and so you have to refocus this kickoff team because they were planning on running offense for a while. Well, now they have to go back to defense, and so they have to really focus on this kickoff because I think I told you I saw number 5 or. I believe it's number 5 that returned for him the other night, and he had a 45, 50-yard return and just about broke it for a touchdown. So we got to make sure we stay in our lanes and cover this kick.
And that is going to be number 5 back deep. That's Rhett Gaskell. He does play defensive back as well. He's a safety for the defensive side of the ball, but he is going to be the returner deep back as Jackson Pendle is going to line up to kick off the ball once again as he has all season long. Always does a fantastic job of doing so. And so it's going to be technically starting out on defense tonight. Smoky Valley did win the toss. They did defer to the second half. Rock Creek went ahead and took the ball first, and they might as well just kind of reverse that order. So Smoky Valley just only 13 seconds off the clock. Their offense is going to be seeing the field as Jackson Pendle's ball is deep. It's a high over high kick. It's going to be taken at the 10-yard line. A little bit of trickery. Andrew Lockhart's going to hand the ball off to Jack Opat. Opat, one of the linebackers on the defensive side, is going to get to the 18-yard line, and that's where the Vikings are going to take over. First down and 10.
Well, now we need the defense to step up, like the special teams, and now if we can get a 3-and-out and get our offense to rolling.
Ty Heitschmidt is the starting quarterback for Smoky Valley. He's a 6'4", 225-pound senior. And, actually, there was a flag on the play. Looks like it's a illegal – looks like it was hands. Was that? Did I see that right? Gosh. I think it was illegal.
Yeah, block in the back, I believe.
Was it a block in the back? Is that what that was?
I didn't see, but if that's the hand signal you saw, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
So it'd be half the distance to the goal. All
right, well.
So they're going to start inside the 10-yard line, so not great field position.
Nevertheless, Ty Heitschmidt, the 6'4", 225-pound quarterback for Smoky Valley, is going to fake the handoff. He's going to give the handoff to Opats. Opats going to take the ball just a few yards. Big old fullback. That's one of those. It's pretty early in the broadcast, so I say this, but it's 5 yards in a cloud of dust type of run.
Yeah. They need those 3 yards, and he got about 3 inches. So the defense did a great job. Wade Rottinghouse in on the tackle, and Ezra Spiller and Nick Allen, all 3 of those guys swarmed to the ball.
Jack Opat, the 6', 200-pound fullback, is going to – Heitschmidt's going to fake the handoff to Opat, keep the ball. He's going to get pretty close to the sticks, going to be marked a few yards short, but that's going to bring up a big third down already for Smoky Valley.
Well, and that ball was loose. When it's a quarterback read, and so he was reading that defensive end. And once that defensive end crashed down, then the quarterback kept it, but he about lost the ball. But he's a big, hard-running, left-handed quarterback, so I have a feeling we're going to see him run it a lot tonight.
As we're going to go into the shotgun now for Heitschmitz. He's going to have Opat on his left-hand side. He is going to fake the handoff on that quarterback read. He's going to keep the ball. He's going to lose some yardage on this as he's going to face a swarm of Mustangs.
Yeah, Corday Kirksey, he was waiting there for him this time. Last time he kind of bit down inside, not this time.
That was pretty much mirrored plays right there, back-to-back play on second and third down, and that's going to bring up a fourth down to go for Smoky Valley. Coach, I mean, you got to punt in this situation, right?
Well, yeah, you do. You hate to punt. You know, I always told the guys that's admitting failure when you punted. So, but you're backed up. You got to punt it here. 4th and 4 inside the 20. Yeah.
As we've got Jacob Perkins, who just returned the kickoff to start the game. He's going to be back to take this snap as the punter for Smoky Valley is going to be standing at his own 1-yard line. It's going to be a pretty decent spiral kick. Perkins is going to pick the ball up after one bounce. He's going to find a hole. He's going to get down to about the 26-yard line. And so Rock Creek, for their first offensive possession of the game, is going to have some incredible field position.
Oh, great field position. And once again, Perkins did a great job of securing the ball and getting about 15 yards on that return and set us up in great field position again.
So the story for Rock Creek all season long has been this offense. Again, 156 first downs compared to just 50 that the defense has allowed. As we're going to be seeing Tate Smith as our starting quarterback tonight, as we'll have 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right, both stacked. Zion Bell is going to get the handoff from the backfield. Bell's going to find a little bit of a hole on the outside. He's going to have some good yardage after initial contact. He's going to get down to the 6-yard line, so that was a great gain of 20 yards for Zion Bell off the first touch of the game.
One thing about Zion, you know, he was hit a couple times early on, but now we're going with up-tempo and
of course, we're in the Farmers State Bank red zone as Zion Bell is going to get the ball. He's going to bounce off a couple tacklers. He's going to get all the way down to the 1-yard line, and what could have been a stop in the backfield ended up getting to be a gain of right around 5 yards.
You know, we need to make sure they understand that they can't go too much up-tempo because we got to be able to talk. And but Zion does such a great job of running the ball after contact. He gets hit and just keeps moving forward.
Absolutely. As they're going to fake the handoff to Zion. They're going to throw this to Perkins, and dude, just like that. If that was my fantasy receiver, we've already got 2 touchdowns in the game for Jacob Perkins, as that's a Rock Creek's Mustang touchdown.
A great play. I mean, you know, they were giving him too much cushion, and we had 2 receivers out there, one to block and one to catch the ball. And what was it, a 2-yard touchdown? But once again, Jacob Perkins back in the end zone again.
Man, there's going to be some this team has some real depth when it comes to offense. I mean, Perkins, a sophomore, just like that, comes out of, I don't want to say the woodwork, but returns the opening kickoff, and then he catches a touchdown right there for 2 touchdowns on the game. I mean, we're 3 minutes and 11 seconds into this ball game. Jacob Perkins has 2 touchdowns. Rock Creek has 2 touchdowns. Jackson Pendle has 2 extra point attempts successfully made as Rock Creek is up 14-0 early in this contest.
It's a great way to start a playoff football game. With only a few minutes gone, we're 14-0. You know, when you were talking about how good their offense is, but it all starts up front. And as I was looking at the hit chart, you know, they're all seniors. Yep. And I coached 1 year junior high football after I retired, and that was my offensive line in junior high. They were pretty good.
Yeah, they were. It always starts up front on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball for this Rock Creek team, and that's why they've had so much success on this season. We did want to give a big shout out to Farmers State Bank for being in the red zone. Farmers State Bank is right there with them every time the Mustangs are in the red zone. And also that touchdown was brought to you by Faith Furniture in Manhattan. Of course, with Faith Furniture, you've got to have faith. 8:49 left in the opening period. Once again, I'm Tyler Jackson, joined alongside legendary Rock Creek head coach Mike Beam. If you're from our friends from Smoky Valley and Lindsborg, we do welcome you to Flush America, St. George, Westmoreland, Pottawatomie County, Kansas, on a beautiful 59-degree Thursday evening. Of course, Rock Creek volleyball making state tomorrow. They're playing in 3A State in Hutchinson, Kansas. That's why the game got moved from tomorrow night till tonight's, as it's going to be another deep kickoff. This one's going to be turned by Jack Opat once again. He's going to take it from his own 2. He's going to hit some contact when he gets to about the 20, got the 22-yard line, make it all the way up to the 24-yard line, and that's where Smoky Valley is going to start off their second drive, 1st and 10.
Yeah, Eric Tim made a nice tackle there in the kickoff return, and that's one thing again you always worry about as a coach is giving up a long kickoff return. But now defense has to step up and shut them down again and give us the ball back.
As we got 2 receivers to the left, we got a single stacked receiver on the right side. Heitschmidt the southpaw is going to turn, fire. He's going to find one of his receivers in number 4. That's going to be Andrew Lockhart. Lockhart's going to get a gain of about a yard before he gets dropped by a whole herd of Mustangs. And it's going to bring up 2nd down, and they're going to actually mark that at 2nd down and 8.
Well, they did a great job of swarming to the ball. When you say it's a whole herd of Mustangs, that's not just a phrase.
That's the best way to describe that.
The defense is swarming.
Absolutely. As Heitschmidt's going to give the ball off to Opat. Opat's going to lose yardage in the backfield. We're going to see some tackles in there. We had a big tackle come through. I mean, again, by a whole host of Mustangs. I mean, there hasn't been any single tackles so far on this game.
No. I tell you what, our defensive line, just like our offensive line was winning the war, so is the defensive line. And it all comes down to those guys up front. And
Carson Taburin is one of the names that we did. He's wearing number 15. That's why that threw me off. He's not 34 tonight. I'm going to go ahead and cross that out. As Heitschmidt's going to take the ball. Ooh, that one's almost intercepted. Jesse Lies, our quarterback, got in on there, got a hand on that ball, almost picked it off, but he did what a defender should do, knock the ball to the ground.
Yeah.
And it forced a big 4th down to go. 4th down and 12 now for Smoky Valley.
He was squatting in the flats, and he did a good job of breaking under that route because we had it covered over the top too. And the only way it could have been better if he would have picked it off and took it to the end zone. But now we forced him for another long 4th down, and they're ready to punt again.
As we're going to have, once again so far, the MVP on the night, Jacob Perkins, is going to be deep to return this ball as it's another decent punt from Smoky Valley. Perkins is going to take it at the 48-yard line of Smoky Valley. He's going to find a big hole off to the side. There was a big block by Jackson Pendle as Perkins is going to take the ball deep. If he got a tush push, he could have got that into the end zone. They're going to mark the ball down at the 2-yard line. They did throw that flag right at the 23-yard line. Looked like Jackson Pendle, in my opinion, had control of his mans, but they might be calling a holding on this. I don't know.
Well, Coach Bernhardt would be proud of him because it was a great takedown. I mean,
yes, it was.
It was. He had a little bit of holding, but it was still a great return.
Yeah, you just can't wrap your hands. You can handle your mans, and he did a good job of overpowering that cat right there, but he probably closed his fists, and that what's got the whole. I mean, it was a. It did make an impact on the play, but that's a big holding call for Rock Creek as it's going to move them back to where they're going to have the ball now and start off this drive 1st down and 10 from the Smoky Valley 40-yard line. As we've got stacked receivers once again left and right, the only formation we've seen tonight, we have Smith in shotgun with Zion Bell directly behind him. Going to fake the hand off the bell. He's going to look to his right side. He's going to find Jackson Pendle, and he's going to get him completed. Jackson Pendle is going to be getting some yards after contact as well. He's going to gain another additional 6 yards after catching that ball. He's going to get down inside the 4-yard line, so that's a gain of 34 yards for gain of 36 yards for Rock Creek.
Great pass, great reception, and protection up front. He had plenty of time to throw so that route could develop, and we're in scoring opportunity again.
Smith did a really good job of selling that fake because, I mean, if you're going to hand the ball off to Zion Bell or not, that's a big thing. It's a big alarm for the defense as Zion Bell's going to get this ball. He's going to take his way up to the middle. He's going to power himself through, and he's going to find the end zone for a big Rock Creek Mustang touchdown.
Once again, Zion was hit right off the bat, and he broke that first contact, broke that second contact, and just powered into the end zone. It's pretty good when you got a 200-pound back that can run and it has his speed. And he's low to the ground, and he does a great job.
Zion did what Zion does.
He does, and he protects the football. That's a great thing about him. He's only had one fumble. Well, his coach says he only has one fumble. He's listed at 2, but his running backs coach tells me it's only 1.
And, I mean, he's over 1,200 yards of rushing on the season for a high school senior. That's a lot. That's a lot for a high schooler. That's his 20th touchdown on the season. Of course, he's been averaging nearly 7 yards per carry. So it goes back to just like we saw right there. Once you make that initial contact, you're not getting him down where you touch him.
No.
He's going to get some extra yardage off you.
You know,
every time.
the way the Mustangs are swarming to the football, that's what Smoky Valley's going to have to do to control Zion, because one guy is not going to bring him down. It's going to take one guy and 4 of his buddies to bring him down.
Without a doubt. But nevertheless, once again, we were inside the Farmers State Bank red zone, and also that touchdown. Once again, man, we're going to be saying their names all night tonight. But that touchdown was brought to you by Faith Furniture in Manhattan. Of course, with Faith Furniture, you got to have faith. You can find them over on the east side, just over by Dillon's. Faith Furniture, man, got some good selections in there. They're Ashley Furniture dealer right here in Manhattan, St. George, Flush, Pottawatomie County, America. Whatever you want to put it where we're at, Coach.
Well, and they produced a very good offensive lineman a couple years ago, Mason Faith. So, yeah, he was a good football player here.
Well, you got to have faith, and you also just have to be Rock Creek, man. It's a family thing around here, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So 21-0, 6:47 left early here in the first quarter. Of course, this is the opening round of the 3A Acacia State playoffs in the state of Kansas. Rock Creek, the number 2 seed on the western side. Number 1 seed is actually Andale. We can get some. Andale will be playing. I keep thinking it's a Friday. It's only a Thursday.
Yeah, Andale plays tomorrow night, and we will be watching that score.
And of course, Andale's playing Chapman tomorrow night. We played Chapman last week, so that should be an interesting ball game against our NCKL foe. As Jackson Pendle just absolutely just lights the ball up. That one is going to hit the end zone. That's going to be a touchback, and it's going to be a first down, and it's going to be a first down after the touchback for Smoky Valley from their own 25-yard line.
You know, Jackson is such a weapon because if you can have a touchback, then you don't have to worry about him returning that kickoff. So if you can put that in the end zone every time, but he has such a strong leg.
He really does, and he's good at making – I mean, those field goals late season could come in clutch. All of his extra points have been straight down I-70 every time I've seen one. So Jackson Pendle, great kicker on the season. As we're on the Smoky Valley offensive side of the ball now, as we got 2 receivers to the left. Heitschmidt's going to fake the handoff to Opat, going to keep the ball, take it up himself. Who's going to get some extra yardage after initial contact on that one. That was a good little hustle play from the quarterback, the 6'4", 225-pound senior quarterback, Ty Heitschmidt. It's going to be a gain of 9 yards. So far, the longest play on the evening for Smoky Valley. It's going to bring up second down and 2 to go. So it was a correction. That was a distance of 8 yards.
And, you know, Jackson Pendle also made that tackle. So, I mean, he kicked the ball. Now he's making the tackles.
And he caught a ball earlier as a receiver.
He did.
I mean, the kid's just all over the field. As Heitschmidt's he's going to fake the handoff to the receiver in motion. He's going to hand the ball off to Jack Opatz. Opatz going to get to the outside. He's going to get in that territory when you're getting into the Corday, Kirksey, Wade Rottinghouse territory of that defensive line. He's not going to get quite more than just a yard, and it's going to bring up third down and 1.
No, we're doing a good job of controlling that line of scrimmage. You know, there was a seam for the big quarterback, but you know, they're not getting much running room between the tackles.
No, not at all. As it's going to be the single back in the backfield. Heitschmidt's going to fake the handoff to Opat, and he's going to get brought down. He's going to get sacked in the backfield, and that is going to be a big sack by, trying to find numbers here, by Declan McKinney.
Yeah.
The senior linebacker for Rock Creek got in there, shot in there really, and made a big sack and forced a huge fourth down.
Yeah, they sent Declan on a blitz, and he came free and made the sack.
As we got 2 receivers to the right, to the left, Heitschmidt's going to take a snap back. He's going to take a step back. He's going to throw the ball. He's going to find a wide open Owen Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe is going to get a gain of about 5 yards, and that's going to bring up the first down tonight for Smoky Valley.
Well, and that's only the second pass, so we know that they're wanting to control the ball, but I think they're going to have to try to throw the ball a little bit more than they're used to, just to get some first downs, because they have to have a few first downs. They can't keep giving us the ball back.
Not at all. Just a minute north, basically, of halfway through the first quarter, and down 3 scores. Yeah, they're going to have to get a little bit more aggressive, as they're going to hand the ball off to Andrew Lockhart on a sweep to the outside. Lockhart's only going to get a gain of about 2 yards on the play before he's brought down by Cole Greenwood, and that's going to bring up a big second down now for Smoky Valley. As so far on the evening, Rock Creek's defense has been pretty stout, allowed 1 first down, 4:19 left here in the first quarter. As we have a single receiver to the left, Heitschmidt is going to fake the handoff from the shotgun to Opat, and he's going to get brought down by Corday Kirksey.
Corday just saddled him up that time, and took a ride.
He did.
But because he's given up a little bit of size, that's a big quarterback, 6'4", 225 for a high school quarterback. And Corday did a good job of staying home and taking care of that read.
It's one of the bigger quarterbacks we've seen against Rock Creek all season long, and he's a southpaw, so that means he's a left-handed quarterback, which is, you don't see that very often.
Not very often. I think it's the first time we've seen a southpaw this year.
It's kind of like a Tua Tagovailoa, right?
Yeah.
For the Miami Dolphins. You just don't see it a whole lot. As he's going to throw the ball out, he's going to find a wide-open Andrew Lockhart. Lockhart's going to turn the ball back in. He almost went out of bounds based off of momentum once he caught the ball, but he didn't. He's going to gain an extra 7 yards past the first down marker. Get to Rock Creek territory for the first time tonight, bringing up a first down for Smoky Valley from the 49-yard line.
Well, and that was great concentration by Lockhart because the pass wasn't that clean. I don't know if it got tipped or it came out of his hand wrong, but it was wobbling, and so he juggled the ball a little bit, but he had enough room to bring it in and then turn it up for a big gain. Absolutely.
As Heitschmidt's going to be in the shotgun, he's got Opat to his left. We're going to be having Lockhart in motion, going to throw the ball right up the middle. Ooh, that's going to be a big hit. As Merrick Anderson, the tight end, is coming across the middle. As you can see on your screen, that was a big shot. Ezra Spiller and actually Jackson Pendle got in on the hit on that one. Yeah, he's not feeling too well after that.
No, it was a clean hit. He came in with the shoulder, but that's a tough shot to take as a receiver.
It is.
You're trying to reach for the ball, and there's nothing like getting the wind knocked out of you either.
Well, that's the thing, is the ball was just thrown so high, well over his head, to where it just kind of left him, I don't want to say defenseless, because that's a big part of talking about getting hits these days, but it left him a little bit more open than it would have been if the ball had been actually thrown a little bit lower.
It did, and the way he got up and the way he went down, I really feel like that it probably knocked the wind out of him. You hate to see a young man get hurt, but I hope to see him back in at tight end.
Absolutely. As we do want to give a big shout out to our sponsor for the first quarter. Our first quarter sponsor is going to be Prairie Winds. Prairie Winds is a proud sponsor of Rock Creek football, and so we are grateful to have them alongside us.
Prairie Winds Family Care. We believe great care starts with a simple conversation. We're committed to providing exceptional.
As Merrick Anderson did get off the field in his own power, as we're back underway from the Rock, we got two receivers to the left. Heitschmidt's in shotgun. He's going to hand the ball off to Opat. Opat's going to go on the outside of the right tackle. He's going to get a little bit of distance before he gets brought down by Carson Taburin, the Sam linebacker, the 6'1", 195-pound senior, coming through to make the stop for Rock Creek.
Yeah, once again, it was a good job of staying at home by Carson, and and that is a big running back too. Opat's a big running back, but Carson made a nice form tackle and kept the gain to a couple yards.
Yeah, Opat's a pretty big guy. So is the quarterback once again for Smoky Valley, as Heitschmidt's going to fake the handoff to Opat. He's going to look to the outside. He's going to be looking to throw the ball to Ollie Boffman. Not quite able to reach him, and that's going to bring up a big fourth down now. Once again, another fourth down for the Smoky Valley offense.
I don't think Ollie knew the ball was coming to him because he never did turn and look for it, and everybody looked like they didn't know what the play was.
Well, he was really pretty locked down as well.
Yeah, the coverage has been really good tonight.
Has been. As Smoky Valley is going to go for the ball now. He's got two receivers to the left, two receivers to the right. Heitschmidt from shotgun is going to take the snap. He's going to look right, turn to the left. He's going to find a Andrew Lockhart through the middle. Lockhart's going to catch the ball. Good enough for the first down, plus an additional 15 yards. Huge play, the biggest, most explosive play of the night for Smoky Valley, and a big first down for the Vikings when they need it the most.
The quarterback does a very good job of getting rid of that ball quick, and he has a strong arm. I mean, we had great coverage there, but he put it right where it needed to be.
As the drive rolls on, 2 receivers to the right, to the left. Heitschmidt's going to give the ball to Opat from the shotgun. Opat's going to get a gain of about a yard before he's swallowed up once again by Corday Kirksey, the 5'11", 225-pound senior defensive end, getting in there to make the stop for the Mustangs.
Number 78 lost a lid, so he's leaving for a play.
Number 78.
Joshua Crane.
Yeah, our 6'2", 275-pound senior offensive lineman, our left tackle. Look at the Smoky Valley's offensive line. They've got some size down there.
They are big.
They really are. As we've got 2 receivers to the left. Heitschmidt is going to fake the handoff to Opat from shotgun. He's going to throw the ball, or he's going to look to throw the ball. He's going to pull it back in. He's going to throw it. He's going to find a wide open Merrick Anderson, the tight end. Anderson's going to get a gain of just a few on that play, and it's going to be not quite enough for the Sticks and bring up a 3rd down now for Smoky Valley.
But one thing that Smoky Valley is doing really well here is they're controlling the ball.
Yeah.
You know, they're keeping the clock moving. They're down 21-0, and they're still fighting. They're not giving up.
As it's going to be a 3rd down now, 3rd down and 4 to go as we're at 43 ticks left in the opening quarter here from the Rock and Flush America. 2 receivers to the right, to the left. Heitschmidt once again from shotgun. He's going to look to his right. He's going to throw the ball. He's not going to be able to quite snag Tanner Lowry on that one, but it was a good attempt on 3rd down. It was right at the Sticks, so they would have got a 1st down had they caught it, but that's going to bring up a 4th down now.
Yeah, Tanner ran a hitch, and when he planted, he fell down, and so he didn't have a chance. But, you know, they were just trying to get the 1st down, but at least they have another down to do it. They're also, you know, I don't know if they have a kicker, but when you're down 21-0, probably a field goal is not even in your mind.
Not at all. Half a minute left now in the opening period. As we got 2 receivers to the right, none to the left. They're going to fake the handoff to Opat. Heitschmidt's going to keep the ball. He's not going to get to the Sticks. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. And that's going to be a turnover on downs for Smoky Valley as the Rock Creek defense is going to get a stop. Offense is going to come back out with 26 seconds left to work with here in the 1st quarter from Flush America.
That was a great stop by Rock Creek.
It was. It was a quarterback read. Heitschmidt kept the ball, went up the middle. And again, it's been the story of the season for this Rock Creek team, more so than a great Tate Smith, more so than a Zion Bell. It's been that offensive and defensive line.
Yeah, you know, they play so well for each other, the offense and defense, and you know, they're a complete football team right now.
Yes, they are. As Smith is going to fake the handoff to Zion Bell, he is going to find number 80. That's going to be Ethan Tonzer, the 6'3", 170-pound wide receiver. Going to find him on an out route, get a gain of just a couple of yards. Going to stay in bounds, so it's going to keep the clock moving. We'll see if they get another playoff, and I don't think they are. They're going to change sides of the fields. They're going to swap sides of the field, as that's going to be the end of the 1st quarter. From Rock America, once again, Rock Creek has a 21-0 lead here in the opening round of the 3A state playoffs. As we do want to give a big shout out to our opening sponsor for the 1st quarter. Big thank you to Prairie Winds.
Great care starts with a simple conversation. We're committed to providing exceptional, personalized care for your whole family. Our goal is simple: treat you the way you would want your own family treated. From pediatrics and primary care to managing chronic conditions, mental health, hormone therapy, and medical weight loss management.
Oh, it is playing?
We offer comprehensive services for every stage of life. We are healthcare you can trust right here in the community. Stop searching for a medical home and start building a lasting bond. Schedule an appointment.
Can you hear me on that? Welcome back to the Rock. Welcome back to Flush America. 2nd quarter starting off as Smith's going to fake the handoff to Zion Bell. He's going to throw it out route to Luke Skinner. Skinner's going to fall. He's going to fall flat on his hiney. Not quite make the corner, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now for the Mustangs.
Luke put the brakes on, and the turf left from underneath him.
First 3rd down play tonight for the Mustangs offense, as it's going to be a 3rd down and 7 to go, as we've got We've got 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Smith and shotgun. Zion Bell is going to stand at his left. They're going to take a hard snap. They're going to look back at the sideline. They're going to call an audible, motioning out to his receivers that they're going to be changing the play up. Smith's going to take the ball. He's going to look to the right. Oh, he's going to take a shot down the field. Oh, my gosh, he's got Peter Martini. Martini right through the middle has got the ball, and Martini's not going to be touched. And Martini's going to take that one home for a big Rock Creek Mustang touchdown. 76 yards. Smith to Martini. We are so glad that kid came back out for football. Oh, man.
And the play right before we went to quarter, they sent Luke Skinner deep, and he was open. And so I thought they'd probably come back to that long ball, and, it's nice to have a big target like Peter Martini.
And, of course, we're pretty certain that wasn't the original play call because they were at the line. Yep. They did call an audible. They touched the top of their head. And, they sent Martini streaking down the middle, caught the ball, and that was a beautiful 76-yard touchdown catch for Rock Creek as Jackson Pendle is going to be kicking the extra point. The PAT is straight down I-70. I guess it's actually straight down Flush Road. He kicked that ball pretty much to Westmoreland is what he did, Coach. But nevertheless, 11:07 left here in the second quarter. Rock Creek completely in control of this game in the opening round of the playoffs against Smoky Valley, our friends from Lindsborg, Kansas, as the score now is 28-0.
Well, and it was a beautifully thrown ball. But as I was watching the protection up front, there was nobody in there. So, it was like Tate was playing 7-on-7 with Peter, and, just a beautiful play.
Well, look at the weapons that this Rock Creek. Oh, by the way, big shout out to Faith Furniture, our friends at Faith. They are the touchdown sponsor tonight and all season long. At Faith Furniture in Manhattan, you've got to have faith. So another scoring drive. That was basically 3 plays. 76 yards, and just really basically a minute and 3 seconds off the clock.
Yeah. We talked about how Smoky Valley needed to control the ball. We don't have to worry about that with Rock Creek. They can score quick, and they can score from anywhere on the field.
There's just so multifaceted. Again, like we've got obviously the Zion Bell threat. He's got 20 touchdowns on the season, over nearly 1,300 yards of rushing. You've got Peter Martini that can catch the ball at any time. You've got Jackson Pendle that can catch the ball at any time. You've got, Tate Smith hasn't even had to run the ball himself.
No.
We haven't really seen his capabilities because we haven't had to.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him run the ball tonight because you're right. He doesn't have to.
He just doesn't have to. This is such a fun team to watch, and a really special season has been formed here. Obviously, finishing the regular season undefeated at Rock Creek, and as Jackson Pendle has another kickoff. And, Coach, have we, since 1991 when this school was formed in the consolidation between St. George and Westmoreland and Flush, has there ever been an undefeated season?
Well, in 2000 we were 11-0 and then lost in the Final Four.
Oh.
And then in 2001 we were 8-0 and lost to Silver Lake on the last game of the year by 1 point. So
that was those big monster Silver Lake teams.
Yeah, we were close.
Well, it's Silver Lake's a little different. It's changed a little different, but it looks like we have Andale down the Silver Lake line down the road. As Smoky Valley has the ball now, they're going to be handing the ball off to Owen Ratcliffe.
Great tackle there by Carson Taburin from his outside backer spot. He read it well, and then he just shot the gap, came up there and made the tackle.
Carson Taburin's been having a fantastic night tonight. Normally wearing number 34 on the season tonight. He is wearing jersey number 15, so as you're watching it, just so you know who number 15 is. Carson Taburin and having a huge game so far.
And, Tyler, I coached his dad.
Did you?
Yeah,
really?
Kyle Taburin. There's a few of those guys out there.
I'm sure there's a couple of them. Have you coached any grandsons out here?
No.
I'm throwing that. I'm just kidding with you. As Heitschmidt's going to hand the ball off once again. This time they're going to keep the ball on the ground. And that is going to be ran by number 19. That's going to be Nicholas Carlson. Not really much of a gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long now for Smoky Valley.
Oh, and Wade did a good job from his nose guard spot of sliding down there and making that tackle. And Cole Greenwood also filled in there too. So the defensive line is doing their job.
As Heitschmidt's going to take the ball from shotgun. He's going to look over the middle. He has a pretty good shot. He had a pretty good attempt at Owen Ratcliffe. Not going to be able to quite hang on to the ball. This is going to be a big tackle now from Eric Tem, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 15 for Smoky Valley.
I think old Owen saw or maybe heard Jackson Pendle coming at him, because he had the ball in his hand, just couldn't bring it in, and Jackson was right there for the big hit.
As 4th down and 15 now for Smoky Valley, they are electing to punt. As once again, so far, 2 touchdowns on the night. We got Jacob Perkins, a sophomore, in the back, as we're going to have a little bit of early motion. Looks like it's going to be 51. That's going to be Wade Rottinghouse, our nose tackle. Looks like he got a little eager there early. Oh, no, they're going to call a false start.
I think the center may have moved the ball, and Wade is a very intelligent young man, and so he saw that ball move, and he just shot in there, so they had to call the penalty.
So another 5 yards back. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 20 now for Smoky Valley, as they're definitely probably going to punt it here. Another decent punt getting kicked off, as Perkins is going to let this one roll. It's not going to quite make it to the 50-yard line. It's going to be down by Smoky Valley, where Rock Creek will take over the ball. 1st down and 10 from the Smoky Valley 48-yard line.
Once again, we start with great field position. When you start at this position on the field, you can call just about any play you want. Down, but Zion got the best of that.
Another 1st down now for Rock Creek, as we got 2 receivers to the left. Peter Martini stands out to himself to the right. Smith is going to pitch the ball out on an option. Ooh, Zion Bell's not going to handle that one so well. He's going to be lucky enough to get back on it. Otherwise, that would have been fumble number 3 on the season. Well, arguably number 3.
I'm going to put that one on tape because the DN shot really hard at Tate, and when he pitched the ball, it hit Zion at the shoulder pad instead of out in front. You have to – it's the quarterback's responsibility to make that good pitch.
Coach Mike Beam, there's a reason why you were the head coach here for 28 years, just the best. As Smith is going to take the ball, he's going to look to the right, he's going to fire to the left, he's going to find a wide open Luke Skinner. Skinner's going to cut the corner. Skinner's going to get the outside. He's going to get pretty close. He's not going to get quite to the end zone. They did call that. Okay. All right.
Well, one official said he stepped out of bounds. The other one said he scored. So
from our vantage point up here, looking right to left, it looked like he was a little bit short. And so I think that's pretty much what they're going to be calling. We'll see. They're going to discuss this. Nevertheless, a great pitch and catch from Tate Smith to Luke Skinner.
And Luke showed some speed there. When he caught the ball, he turned it up. And I thought he was going to get into the end zone, but he must have stepped out about the 5-yard line or the 4-yard line.
And they're going to mark this down 1st and goal now from the 4-yard line, as Smith's going to take the ball. He's going to roll to the right. He's going to keep his eyes to the right. He's going to look to the back of the end zone. A little bit too much for Luke Skinner, who is streaking back. And it is going to fall incomplete and bring up now a 2nd down and goal to go for Rock Creek.
That's another thing that, that was a good throwaway because they flooded that zone. And they had 3 different levels, but they were all covered, so he threw it away. And, young quarterback, a lot of times they'll try to fit that in, or a Patrick Mahomes will try to fit that in.
Yes.
No, he did a good job. Good read and good throwaway.
2 receivers to the right and to the left. Smith from shotgun, going to fake the handoff to Bell. He's going to keep that one and walk into the end zone very much untouched. Very much untouched. I mean, you got to feel bad for the Smoky Valley defense. That could have gone either way. I mean, that was such a fake, Coach.
That was. I think Coach Lambert over on the other sideline, that's what he's probably saying. Well, what are we supposed to do here? Either we take Zion Bell, who is their main horse, and leave the quarterback go, or we have to take the quarterback and leave Zion go.
And, of course, Smith's going to hang on to the ball for a big Rock Creek Mustang touchdown. Another touchdown brought to you by Faith Furniture in Manhattan. Of course, with Faith Furniture, you have to have faith. And, of course, that red zone scoring drive brought to you by Farmers State Bank, as that was one of Jackson Pendle's best PAT attempts. It did make it through, and that does bring our score up to 35-0 with 8 minutes left here in the second quarter from Flush America, The Rock. Coach, all Mustangs, all night.
Oh, boy, I tell you, it's going to be a long trip back to Lindsborg, Kansas. But, that's kind of the way they've been playing all year long. They've just dominated their opponents. And we haven't had the toughest schedule, but you got to play who's on your schedule.
Exactly. And, Rock Creek is, from the beginning of the season, taking the trip to Bishop Ward, getting through an NCKL league, which is some years more up than down. This kind of been, you can argue, teams across the board kind of been down this year, but there's always great athletes there within your Chapmans and Abilenes and Wamigos and Clay Centers and, of course, Rock Creek. And Rock has just done a pretty good job of getting through their schedule unscathed.
Yeah, and staying pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Keeping the guys, this offensive line has stayed really healthy, and that has been huge. And now we got our receivers back. Perkins had missed some time with a broken hand, and Peter Martini has something wrong with his hand. I mean, they fought through some injuries.
And, of course, so many weapons on this offensive side of the ball. It's been just a hoot to watch this Rock Creek team, and the proof's in the pudding. I mean, it's 35-0 with 8 minutes left in the second quarter, as the ball's going to be received by Smoky Valley. It's going to be brought back. Eli Lambert, the ball carrier on the play. Andrew Lockhard, the ball carrier on the play. It's going to get just a little bit north of the 20-yard line, be brought down at the 23, and that's where the Smoky Valley Vikings will take over first down and 10 to go.
And Eric Tim had a great open field tackle, and that was the second tackle that he's had on the kickoff, and it was an open field tackle. And that's tough when you're out there in all that space, and that guy has a go to either the right or left and to make that tackle.
Rock Creek, the number 2 seed on the western side of the 3A brackets. Smoky Valley is the 15 seed on the western side, as Heitschmidt is going to get the ball. He's going to hand the ball off to Opatz. Opatz going to take it up for just a couple yards through the middle before brought down by that explosive defensive line from Rock Creek.
Yeah, I tell you what, they are doing a great job of controlling it. Nick Allen was in there on the tackle, and Wade again forced the issue. They just do such a good job of eating up blocks and letting those linebackers work. Nick and Ezra, then they get to reap the benefits of the good defensive line. That's
exactly it. I mean, there's 3 layers to this Rock Creek defense. You got to get past the defensive line, then our linebackers, and then our secondary.
Yeah, we're pretty solid all the way across.
Absolutely. As Opat, ball carrier once again, Nick Allen, one of the defenders getting in on there. Our Will linebacker, 6 foot, 190-pound senior, getting in there, making the stop on Jack Opat, who's a pretty good-sized halfback for Smoky Valley.
Well, their backfield may be the biggest backfield I've seen in a long time with Ty at quarterback and Wopat at running back. They're both huge.
Absolutely. So those nights when those guys are on, they're certainly on. And Rock Creek is just one of those defenses that they're up against, as we're going to be looking at trips to the left. We've got a single receiver to the right. Heitschmidt's going to take the ball. He's going to look to the right. He's going to roll to the left. The left-handed quarterback's going to throw the ball over the middle. He's going to try to throw and hit He's going to try to throw the ball to Owen Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe not able to hang on to that. Of course, Nick Allen, our will linebacker, once again right there on his tail.
Yeah, that was great coverage by Nick Allen. You don't expect your inside linebacker to cover that well, and he was back there all over him.
And that's going to bring up yet another fourth down for Smoky Valley. Just a total of 3 first downs on the game so far for these guys, and they've got to move it, but they're going to be punting once again.
This will be a chance for a fake punt here.
Could be, yeah, absolutely. Jacob Perkins back deep to return it, and they're going to kick it. And Perkins is going to take the ball. 1 kickoff return tonight. He took the opening kickoff to the house, as Perkins is going to get a big break right here. Oh, he could have taken that one again as well if he would have been tripped up by number 74, Colin Opat. So the Opat boys, both of them playing for, I'm assuming they're brothers, both playing for Lindsborg tonight, both being able to make some big tackles. So,
Jacob did a great job of just cutting up field there.
He did, absolutely. As Rock Creek has great field position once again. They're going to take over now from the Smoky Valley 33-yard line, as we've got 2 receivers to the right. Smith is going to be in shotgun. He's going to pitch the ball outside now to Zion Bell. Bell's going to hit his first defender. He's going to shake off of him. He's going to get extra yardage, and he is going to just sneak down that sideline, and he's going to turn what could have been just a gain of a few yards into a huge gain of, looks like 29 yards.
You know, he had 3 Vikings that hit him to knock him out of bounds because he's running right down the sideline, and none of those 3 knocked him out. It finally was on the 4th one where they corralled him and knocked him out of bounds.
Coach, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to touch the guy.
Me
when
neither.
He's in full motion, he's got a full steam of a head. Nope. As we're in the Farmers State Bank red zone right now, as that pass attempt is going to be thrown to Noah Valberg. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Good attempts. And it's going to bring up now 2nd down and goal to go for Rock Creek.
It's just a little bit high, but I know that Noah knows that he should have had it or thinks that he should have had it because he's usually a pretty sure-handed receiver.
Absolutely. And, of course, Farmers State Bank is right there with them every time the Mustangs hit the red zone like they are right now. From hometown roots to big-time goals, Farmers State Bank is proud to support our community. Strong, local, committed. Visit farmersstatebankks.com as the ball is given to Zion Bell. It's going to just stay on the left hash mark. Going to get a gain of a couple just up the middle. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal to go now for the Mustangs from, it looks like, the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I believe it's Zion time again. You know, just toss him the ball, let him get in there.
Hopefully one of these days we'll be seeing an NIL, not to get the kid's head too big, but get an NIL deal at high V, especially make a big, deep playoff run. Yeah, it's Zion time. As they're going to be looking back at the bench once again to try to call an audible right here. As Peter Martini's a lone receiver to the right on the outfield, to the outside. Smith is going to be in shotgun. He's going to have Bell directly behind him. Smith's going to take the ball, and he's going to turn just to his right. Good footwork right there. He's going to find Peter Martini, but Peter Martini was pretty well covered by Jesse Bruce, the 5'8", 150-pound sophomore, to make the stop, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and goal now for this Mustang offense from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it was great coverage by that young man, and Peter had just a step on him, but it would have been a perfect ball.
As they're going to be going for it, as Smith is under center. Smith's going to keep the ball. He's going to power it through himself. He's going to go in pretty much untouched, and that's going to be yet another Faith Furniture touchdown. Of course, a big Rock Creek Mustang touchdown.
Usually you don't see a quarterback sneak go in untouched.
No.
But he did a nice job of seeing the A gap on the left side, and there was nobody there.
Truth be told, with number 3 as the running back for Rock Creek, or number 2 as the running back for Rock Creek, my eyes aren't going to be on that quarterback either. I'm going to be staring down number 2 to see what happens right here. And, of course, that was a good decision for Smith to just take the ball in himself. Another touchdown, 5:09 left here in the 2nd quarter as Jackson Pindle comes out to kick the PAT attempts. And that one's going to be straight down Broadway as well. 42-0 now. Once again, thank you to Faith Furniture in Manhattan. They brought you the touchdown tonight. That's the 5th time tonight so far that we've been able to shout out we've been able, no, 6 times, sorry. We've been able to shout out Faith Furniture. Of course, Faith Furniture, you got to have faith. 42-0, Coach, 5:09 left. It's pretty easy to see what's happening on the Rock Creek sideline. What are those players from Smoky Valley feeling right now?
Boy, I tell you, I think every coach goes through this. Every team goes through this. You know, sometime you're going to get beat like this, and you just have to keep fighting and keep playing hard and play your type of offense. You can't start doing things that you're not used to doing because it's only going to get worse. But one thing that they can do is just keep trying to run the ball because that'll keep the clock moving, and you want to get out of here as fast as possible if you're on that other sideline, even though it is their last game of the year, and it's tough on those kids that last game.
It is. I mean, there's, you know, that senior year of high school is always so sentimental anyway.
Yeah.
But that last football game, there's just something about that final football game, and for it to be, you know, to not go your way, let's just say, and to lose in the playoffs in the first round after all the summer workouts and all the heat for those early season games, and then you got all your conference games, and then before you know it, it's playoff time, and then just the finality of it.
It's such a short season that, you know, it comes around. The end comes too fast every year.
Absolutely. As Jackson Pendle is going to kick this ball off, Opat is going to take the kickoff. He's going to hand the ball off to another Smoky Valley guy. Couldn't see him. Got swarmed up by black jerseys.
Andrew Lockhart.
Andrew Lockhart. There we go. Absolutely.
That was the second time they faked that reverse, but this time they handed it off. But Rock Creek did a nice job of staying in their lanes, and you know, the coaches will be proud of them for covering that kickoff.
Absolutely. As Smoky Valley does have another opportunity to come out and put some points on the board. 5:01 left in the second quarter. Still plenty of time left in this ball game. There really is. As we've got 2 receivers to the right. Heitschmidt is in the shotgun. He is going to hand the ball off. He's going to give the ball off to number 19. That is going to be Nicholas Carlson. He's going to get a gain of a couple just on the outside as Carlson's going to be brought down after a gain of 2, bringing up 2nd down and 8 now for the Vikings.
You know, looking back, though, if you think about it, it's been a clean game. There hasn't been very many penalties, and so the clock hasn't stopped because of penalties. It's only been incomplete passes, but really both teams have played really clean so far.
The only penalty I can think of off the top of my head was I guess there was one offensive. There was the false start on Smoky Valley, and then that holding penalty on Rock Creek on that punt return. But outside that, yeah, absolutely. As they're going to give this one to Carlson, Nicholas Carlson, number 19. Once again, he's going to take it straight up the middle. He's going to be met with a whole host of that first-team defensive line defense, that quality defensive line for Rock Creek. We're talking Wade Rottinghouse, Grady Hastertz, Corday Kirksey, and Cole Greenwood. Pretty solid starting on the defensive front for Rock Creek.
Big shout-out to Grady because he came off the block. The guy tried to block him, but he did a good job of shedding the block and being the first guy in there to hit him.
2 receivers to the left. We got a single receiver to the right. Heitschmidt is in shotgun. He is going to look straight down the middle. Ooh, he's going to have a completed pass. That one's going to be a catch. Once again, that's going to be one of the biggest receivers of the night for Smoky Valley, and Andrew Lockhart. The 5'11", 160-pound senior is going to catch the ball, and they're going to be moving the chains as Smoky Valley getting a big 1st down and 10 to go.
I'm impressed with how Heitschmidt throws the ball. You know, he kind of has a low throwing motion, but he's 6'4", so he doesn't worry about it getting knocked down or anything, but he really fires the ball in there. He has good velocity on his pass.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Heitschmidt is going to get a kind of a high snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Carlson. Carlson's not going to be able to get too much on the outside. He's actually going to lose a gain of about 3 on that play before being brought down by Nick Allen of Rock Creek.
Yeah, the Mustangs were all over that. Nick read that so fast. Or either that or they had a blitz call, but he sure shot the gap fast and met the running back in the backfield, and I'm sure the running back was thinking why didn't the quarterback just keep that, because he had a linebacker on him as soon as he got the ball.
Coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to be having the shortstop bandit brain teaser. Coach, it's basically like the Aflac trivia question. I'm going to ask you this and see if you can get this correct I know the answer to it already. Hopefully you don't, but we'll be asking that here in just a few minutes as Carlson's going to be getting the ball handed off from Heitschmidt once again. It looks like he lost maybe about a half a yard on that play, and that's going to bring up a big third down now as the clock keeps rolling. A little bit north of 2 minutes left here in the second quarter from the Rock. Rock Creek's up 42-0, and that's another third down for Smoky Valley.
Well, I cheated on the trivia question. I did look at it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Now, I'm pretty good at the football ones asked, but when it's anything culture, I'm pretty well screwed.
I was driving to Arkansas against the Concordia game. I was announcing a gravel bike race in Bentonville, Arkansas, so I couldn't make it for this game. As Heitschmidt's going to throw the ball over the middle. That one's going to be caught at the sticks. That's going to be a first down now for Smoky Valley.
Owen Ratcliffe, nice catch.
Owen Ratcliffe, man, he's had a couple catches tonight on the some couple clutch catches.
They have some tough kids because they are getting hit. Our guys are hitting well tonight.
Yes, they are, absolutely. As Heitschmidt is going to throw the ball once again. This one goes to Lockhart. Lockhart's going to get out of bounds. Get a gain of about 9. Getting closer to the sticks once again, as that's going to be second down and just a little bit north of a yard to go for Smoky Valley.
We'd like to see the Mustangs tighten up here and keep them out of the end zone, but for the sake of the game, it would probably do a lot for Smoky Valley to get the touchdown right before half.
Absolutely, just to get a little bit of a morale boost for those kids. Been a long season. You don't want to get shut out in the playoff game.
No, but as a coach, you're looking for that shutout all the time.
Absolutely. As a Rock Creek broadcast, I mean, that's what we're cheering for. But knowing the finality of tonight's, as Carlson is the ball carrier once again, getting back to the line of scrimmage. Not going to get much more than that, as it's going to bring up a big third down to go now for the Vikings.
Big hit by Wade Rottinghouse that time.
As that's going to be another pass. This one's going to fall incomplete, as it's going to bring up a fourth down and 2 to go. They
kind of tried to hurry up and catch Rock Creek sleeping there, but they were a little bit too big a hurry because the quarterback overthrew that pass. He had him open, streaking down the middle.
Fourth down and 2 to go. 1:04. The clock has stopped, as we got about 64 ticks left here in the second quarter. As this is going to be a huge play now for Smoky Valley as far as the momentum for the rest of the game. As we've got 2 receivers to the right. Heitschmidt is in shotgun. He's going to fake the ball to Carlson. He's going to throw it. He's going to be looking for Lockhart on that play. It's going to fall incomplete, and that's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Mustangs are going to take the ball back over yet once again. It's going to break this out. Let's do our Shortstop Bandit Brain Teaser of the game. So this game's Bandit Brain Teaser is brought to you by Shortstop. No matter where you're going or how long it takes to get there, you'll always have time for a shortstop. So the trivia question for tonight, so known for its Swedish roots, what colorful wooden symbol can be spotted throughout Lindsborg during Hellingsfest and beyond?
Good job on the pronunciation.
Thank you, sir. I am very Irish, as we've got Tate Smith throwing the ball. He is going to find, man, I'm telling you, he's had himself a
Jacob
great
Perkins
game
again.
Jacob Perkins, man. Just a great pitch and catch of 32 yards, Coach.
I think he has about 500 all-purpose yards already in this first half, Jacob. He's been everywhere.
Absolutely. As we'll give you the shortstop Bandit Brain Teaser, we'll give you that answer coming up in the third quarter. As Tate Smith's going to keep the ball, he's going to streak to the left side. He's going to step out of bounds, preserving 43 seconds left on the clock. He's going to get down to the 6-yard line, as that's going to bring up a second down, and looks like it's going to be a long 3 yards to go. I mean, all Rock Creek all night, from the opening kickoff to right now, right before the end of the first half. It's been all Rock Creek all night.
There's a lot of difference in the talent level out here right now.
As Tate Smith's going to look to his right, he's going to throw it, and he's going to find Peter Martini for a Rock Creek Mustang touchdown.
Little back shoulder fade to Peter Martini. That's pretty tough to stop with his size. He does a nice job, too, of screening out that defensive back.
Of course, that touchdown tonight and all season long is brought to you by Faith Furniture. Faith Furniture Manhattan. You've got to have faith. And also our extra point sponsors tonight, I own 7 of them. I own 7 of them. Is Fox Home Innovations, your trusted local team for custom remodels, additions, and new builds. Whether you're updating a kitchen, expanding your living space, or creating the home of your dreams, Fox Home Innovations brings craftsmanship and quality to every project. Dream it, and Fox builds it. Visit foxhomeinnovations.com to start your next project today, as they are proud sponsors for the Extra Point, as Jackson Pendle kicks that one straight down I-70. 39.4 seconds left to go from the Rock here in Flush, America. It's the Mustangs 49-0 over Smoky Valley.
Well, now once again, we just need to make sure we take care of business, cover this kick, keep them out of the end zone. They have 30 seconds to work with, and we just need to finish off this half, because we're going to have a running clock the second half.
Yes, absolutely. So all Rock Creek all night tonight, 39 seconds left. I'm Tyler Jackson on play-by-play. We got the legendary head coach, Coach Mike Beam. He was the head coach here at Rock Creek for 28 years. And then our sideline reporter tonight, he's a senior in high school from Rock Creek. He's been doing a great job all season long. Big shout-out to my boy, Xander Dick. He's our sideline reporter, and we'll be hearing from Xander coming up here in just a few minutes. But, Coach, it's our first really chilly game of the season, first game of the playoffs. If you're the coach of Rock Creek at this moment, what's going through your thoughts this close to the end of the first half?
Well, I'm gearing up to talk to the sideline reporter on my way out, which was you numerous times.
Yeah.
But no, you're thinking about what you want to tell your guys, because you want to keep them playing hard. And this is a time, too, you get to let your young guys experience playoff football. So it's pretty exciting for those young guys, and you talk to them at halftime about coming out and playing.
As Jackson Pendle is going to kick this ball, and Lockhart's going to take this ball back. A little bit of momentum coming up on the left hash before being met by a whole host of Mustangs. Dropped right at the 25-yard line, and that's where Smoky Valley is going to take over. First down and 10 to go with 34 seconds left here in the opening half.
Now it'll be interesting to see if Smoky Valley just sets on the ball here, or if they try to run a few plays and maybe get in the end zone.
It's been a tough defense to go up against, not just tonight, but all season long, but in particular this evening, as there really hasn't been too much of an answer from Smoky Valley against this defensive line. Essentially, as there we go, Ezra Spiller comes in once again, our Will linebacker, or our Sam. What is Ezra? Ezra's our Mike linebacker.
Yeah. and Ezra, he brings the wood. He is a great hitter. Well, he's hobbling a little bit, so that's not good. That's one thing you don't want to come out of here with any injuries. And so I think we'll see a lot of the young guys the second half.
Absolutely, and of course Ezra Spiller, he was a fantastic catcher for the state runner-up team last season, and that looks like that will be doing it for the end of the first half. All Rock Creek, all nights, 49-0. As we got our guy, we've got our friend Xander Dick down on the sidelines. We're going to send it down to you, Xander. Xander, what's up, buddy? How are things down on the sidelines?
Tonight, we got a special treat for you folks. I'm not getting any rebels.
Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please help me welcome to the field your Rock Creek dance team. Tonight, they're here to set the mood with a chilling Halloween-themed prom routine featuring a very familiar tune straight from the world of Stranger Things. Get ready to turn things upside down with the Rock Creek dance team.
once again, the halftime score from The Rock. 49-0. We'll be back here in just a few minutes after halftime. This is Backroads Broadcasting and Rock Creek Mustang football.
Check one, check one.
Okay, ready? We're gonna find it. It's too dark in this zone.
Yeah. You're the dude. I can smell everything. It's ridiculous. It's after like 15 minutes.
What are you gonna say, Tyler?
You said
your potential with Rampage Academy. This isn't just working out, it's training with purpose. Rampage Academy delivers intentional training with expert coaching and personalized nutrition, helping you build speed, strength, and endurance. Whether you're a young athlete or an adult chasing peak performance, there's a program for you. We offer year-round sports-specific clinics in baseball, softball, football, and wrestling. Stay updated and register through the Rampage Academy app or online at rampage-academy.com. Don't wait to get better, train to be your best. Find your next level at Rampage.
There we go. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Rock. Welcome back. Welcome back now. Are we good to go? Welcome back to Flush America. 3 minutes left here at the end of halftime.
Is it working?
Welcome back to Flush America. Welcome back to the Rock. Rock Creek High School Mustangs.
I hear you. Heard that. Wait, tap ears, Tyler. Tyler. I hear Tyler. Do you hear me?
We had an audio technical difficulty. Our apologies if you're tuning in. But we've got welcome back to the Rock. Welcome back to Flush America. Welcome back to Rock Creek High School. It's the opening round of the 3A state playoffs. The number 2 seed Rock Creek Mustangs taking on the number 15 Smoky Valley Mustangs, or Smoky Valley Vikings. At the end of the first half of play, Rock Creek all night, 49-0. Welcome back to the Rock, Rock America, Flush America, as Rock Creek is up 49-0 at the end of the first half. It's been all Rock Creek all night long. I'm Tyler Jackson, your play-by-play host, joined alongside legendary head coach, Mr. Coach Mike Beam, 28-year veteran at Rock Creek High School. And then, of course, we've been having our color analyst all evening long. Got my boy Xander Dick, our sideline analyst, who's actually on the side of me at the moment. Xander, how's your night been going, buddy?
It's been very cold. I'm gonna be brutally honest, very cold.
Yeah, it's been. This is like the first real chilly game of the season, and it's great to have you up here with us. And after this opening kickoff, we'll hear some of your remarks and your thoughts on the first half and your thoughts going into the second half. And of course, we got Coach Beam with us all night long as we've got the opening kickoff here in the second half. It's going to get muffed, but picked back up, as it is going to be taken by Smoky Valley. They're going to be bringing the ball up, and that's going to be Andrew Lockhart, our returner all night long. Going to get to the 25-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over. First down and 10. Coach Beam, my friend, take her away.
Tackle by Eric Tim. How many times have I said that on kickoffs tonight?
You know,
just about every time.
I was going to say, it feels like all season long, actually. Yeah. He's been our guy that we've talked about on kickoff tackles as well. As we got some action out on the field, Smoky Valley is going to be taking the ball over. As we've got 2 receivers to the left, we've got 2 receivers stacked to the right. They're going to fake the handoff, and it is going to be, get my offensive placard flipped up. It's going to be Ty Heitschmidt, who's going to fake the ball off, fake the handoff to Jack Opat. And he's not going to gain anything. In fact, he's going to lose yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 12 to go now, as Smoky Valley really needs to put some points on the board right here.
Yeah, Grady Hastert met him in the hole, and so there was no room for him to run. So we got a loss of 1. Now this second half we have a running clock from the rest of the game. We have a running clock.
So running clock, it's going to run no matter what.
Yeah, I think timeouts, it stops, and injuries.
Okay. As they're going to hand the ball back off to Jack Opat, the big fullback, number 44. He's going to get a couple yards on the right side. Get a past the original line of scrimmage, past a yard or so, but it's going to bring up a third down and about 8 to go now for Smoky Valley.
Once again, our defensive line is just controlling that line of scrimmage, and that just frees our linebackers up to run.
As the story has really been Rock Creek's defense more so than their offense, as they've just been really meeting Smoky Valley at the line. As Heitschmidt's going to throw the ball. That one's almost nearly intercepted. My goodness. That was almost a Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping interception, might we add. But that was great defense by
Jesse
Rock
Lies.
Creek's Jesse Lies. Called his name a couple times tonight, the cornerback that is a senior now for this Rock Creek defense. 6'1", 170-pounder. If he would have got his hand on the ball, that would have been a pick six.
It would have been. And, the coverage was tight, and it's been tight all night long. But their receivers have done a good job of getting the ball.
As once again, Smoky Valley is out to punt the ball. And that one's nearly blocked. As Valberg is back deep to catch it, but it's not going to be anywhere near him as it's going to go out of bounds. It looks like it's going to be out at the 32-yard line. That's where Rock Creek's offense will take over 1st down and 10 to start the third quarter. Xander Dick, my friend, slap you on the shoulder, get you a little startled. What was your thoughts on the first half, my friend? How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. For the first half, we'll say it was pretty dull at some points. I mean, there were some plays here and there. I mean, Rock Creek was kind of, the sideline wasn't, don't really want to call it like happy. I guess we'll call it not happy. There was some chant. I heard some things here where they were kind of like, come on, you got to make a big stop here. But, obviously they didn't. But overall, I mean, there were some moments here and there where they were just, they all came together. They were, coming as a team.
Oh, man. Not to cut you off, buddy, but we had we had Zion Bell on a wheel route and dropped the ball in the end zone. That would have been a touchdown. It was a touchdown pass.
You're not going to get much more open than that either.
No, and Zion Bell's mad at himself for that one. He's going to be thinking about that one for a while. Great pass from Tate Smith on 1st down, finding Zion Bell wide open at the corner of the end zone, and didn't quite complete the pitch and catch, but nevertheless, Rock Creek moves on as it's going to be 1st down and 10 now, or 2nd down and 10, as Zion Bell's going to get the ball up the middle. He's going to get to the 1st down stick plus a couple yards beyond that. He is such a patient runner, Coach. I love absolutely watching him run.
He is, and then once again, he just bounces off of guys. But yeah, he is very patient, follows his blocks well. He reads the holes really well, and that's where he's gained from last year to this year. Just that maturity has made him a lot better running back.
Yeah, he's now 20 touchdowns on the season, 1,300 yards of rushing, and you don't get that many yards, especially at the high school level, without having some type of patience.
No.
As Smith takes the ball from shotgun, he dodges one defender, pump fakes it again. Ooh, he got nice form tackled. A couple yards to gain on that play. As he's going to bring up now 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. Oh, they're going to move it up just a smidge. It's going to be 2nd down and about 6 yards to go now for Rock Creek.
He felt all that 215 pounds of Braylon Mitchell because he brought the house.
Yes, he did. As Smith is going to fake the ball to Zion Smith. He's going to give the ball now.
There's your man.
He's been it's hard not to call him the MVP of the night. Jacob Perkins is going to take that ball in for a Rock Creek Mustang touchdown.
Yeah, I tell you what, every time he touches the ball, it has been pretty electric tonight. I mean, he's had a lot of big plays, and, he's only a sophomore. That's
like really the first time this whole season we've called his name, and he returned the opening kickoff to the house. That was his second catch for a touchdown. So he got 3 touchdowns tonight.
I think the other Coach Beam told me today that he had a broken hand, so he missed 4 or 5 games.
Okay, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, just think, if he scores one more touchdown, of course, that touchdown is brought to you by Faith Furniture in Manhattan. And Faith Furniture, you got to have faith. And then the extra point, tonight's extra points are brought to you by Fox Home Innovations, your trusted local team for custom remodels, additions, and new builds. Whether you're updating a kitchen, expanding your living space, or creating the home of your dreams, Fox Home Innovations brings craftsmanship and quality to every project. Dream it, and Fox builds it. Visit foxhomeinnovations.com to start your next project today. Running clock, of course, 5.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Rock Creek's up 56-0 here in the opening round of the 3A state playoffs from the Rock in Flush, America. Coach, just looking at our good buddy Jacob Perkins. If he scores one more touchdown, that's as many as a famous Al Bundy for Polk High School. He had 4 touchdowns in one game.
That's I forgot that, and I was a fan of that show.
Married with Children for all those youngsters out there. The adults, I'm sure. Hopefully somebody's laughing at that.
Yeah.
Al Bundy, famous for having 4 touchdowns in one game. If Jacob Perkins gets one more, I'm going to call him Al Bundy from here on out.
we need to cheer for Jacob to try to get that other touchdown.
Xander, have you ever heard of the show Married with Children?
I'll be honest, I have not.
Didn't think so.
Yeah.
I'm too young for that, I guess.
YouTube it.
Yeah, definitely knew you didn't have any idea about that one. Oh, that is a muffed kickoff. Our buddy for Smoky Valley that's been returning the kickoffs, Andrew Lockhart, all night. He first muffed it, and he could not quite get that ball picked up. But thankfully, for the Vikings' sake, he was able to pick it up pretty quick. And it's going to be Smoky Valley's ball. First down and 10 to go on their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, Owen Geyer just about had a fumble recovery there. But he came streaking down the field, but didn't quite get the ball.
As Smoky Valley is going to be taking over now, as you see on your screen. First down and 10. They're going to hand this ball off. This is going to be handed off to Owen Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's going to get a little bit of traction on the left hash. Straight up the middle. Going to get closer to the sticks. Not quite, but it's going to bring up a second down and 2 after a gain of 8 yards on the play.
Now we're going to see a lot of new faces coming in because I see Jackson Pendle coming off, Wade Rottinghouse coming off. So we have some new defensive linemen.
As we got Heitschmidt in shotgun, he's going to hand the ball off to Jack Opatz. Opatz going to get enough for the first down. Get a couple extra yards after the initial contact. Going to get a gain of about 5. It's going to bring up first down and 10 now for Smoky Valley from their own 27-yard line.
Good tackle by Noah Valberg out there on the edge to limit that, I guess, no gain. I thought he got a couple yards out of that.
As we got 2 receivers to the left, Heitschmidt and shotgun's going to hand the ball off to Opat. Opat's going to power his way. Nice little runner. Kind of looks like John Riggins almost. Taking that one back. Xander, do you know who John Riggins is? Didn't think so.
Good tackle by Brody Clark.
Already insulting to 2 of them.
I'm not trying to be insulting to you. John Riggins, of course, from Centralia. Is that where he's from? Centralia, yeah. KU guy. Played for the Washington Redskins. The artist formerly known as, I suppose. Don't cancel me. John Riggins, a good Hall of Fame running back, and that's kind of what he looked like on that play. As Heitschmidt fakes the hands off to Opatz. He's going to throw the ball up over the middle. Look at this. Owen Ratcliffe has the ball. He's got some distance, and he's going to take that one in now for a Smoky Valley touchdown.
That was a good score for Smoky Valley.
It was.
And it's good for our young guys to know they got to keep going at it.
No, there's a flag on the field. No, that one hurts for the Vikings, man. That's a drive killer indeed. I mean, what turned into a 63-yard touchdown pass is now going to be moved back 10 yards. Oh, man. That one hurts for Smoky Valley for sure.
Coach Lambert, he wasn't agreeing with that call over on the other sideline.
No. That's kind of one of those, I think, it is playoff football. We're Rock Creek guys, right? This is a Rock Creek broadcast, but we also understand the finality of a playoff game for Smoky Valley on a shutout night in the third quarter with the running clock.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I think sometimes you have to just let that stuff happen.
I think that was probably him throwing that flag and then thinking, man, I probably wish I wouldn't have thrown that flag.
Yeah, absolutely. But nevertheless, it's going to be a loss of 10 now, so it's going to bring up a first down and a long ways to go now for Smoky Valley as they have two receivers to the right. They're going to hand the ball off straight down the middle. It's going to be Jack Opath. It's going to get the ball. He's going to get a gain of just a couple, get to the 31 before being brought down. And that running clock does move pretty fast. 12 minutes doesn't last very long when there's not many stops.
No, great job of the guys swarming to the ball, because 44, Jack Opath's a great running back or good size running back. But those guys did a super job of swarming to the ball to limit his gain.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're going to be letting this one run to the end of the period. Of course, we do want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Prairie Winds. We'll be hearing from them here in just a second as they are going to let that clock run out. 56-0 at the end of the third quarter from Flush America from the Rock. Rock Creek's up big on Smoky Valley in the opening round of the 3A state playoffs.
Family Care, we believe great care starts with a simple conversation. We are committed to providing exceptional, personalized care for your whole family. Our goal is simple, to treat you the way you would want your own family treated. From pediatrics and primary care to managing chronic conditions, mental health, hormone therapy, and medical weight loss management, we offer comprehensive services for every stage of life. We are healthcare you can trust right here in the community. Stop searching for a medical home and start building a lasting bond. Schedule an appointment today.
Once again, welcome back to the Rock. Flush America, Rock Creek's up big, 56-0. And at the end of the second quarter, we did ask the annual, weekly, if you will. What's up, Monkey? My little nephew's rolling in here. We did have the Shortstop Bandit Brain Teaser of the game. So this game's Bandit Brain Teaser is brought to you by Shortstop. No matter where you're going or how long it takes to get there, you'll always have time for a shortstop. And tonight's Bandit Brain Teaser, known for its Swedish roots, what colorful wooden symbol can be spotted throughout Lindsborg during the Hillensfest and beyond? Xander, you have any idea what the answer to this question is? I think that's a no from him. But the answer is the Dala horse. Of course, beautiful Lindsborg, Kansas, Little Sweden, USA, a great place to go check out. The Lindsborg is nicknamed Little Sweden, USA because many early settlers came from Sweden in the 1860s. The town celebrates the heritage with festivals like the Hillensfest. I think I said that pretty all right, Coach. Every 2 years featuring Swedish music, dancing, food, and the bright red Dala horses proudly displayed around the community. There's even a giant one greeting visitors as they arrive in town. A true symbol of Smoky Valley pride. And, of course, not too far down the road from here is Oldsburg, Kansas. You can go find Volcom in there. You can find some Dala horses in Oldsburg.
Oldsburg, yeah.
Just like you can in Lindsborg. As Heitschmidt's going to take the ball. He's going to throw that one straight up the middle. It's going to be a little too high. It would have been a good shot. It would have been a good catch, but not quite enough, as it's going to bring up a fourth down to go now for Smoky Valley.
Luke Lee had good coverage there, and he's only a freshman. Coach Lee's son.
Running clock makes it an interesting dynamic. And then, of course, the finality of the playoffs. This means that this is Smoky Valley's final game of the season.
It's always tough when you know it's over. Those kids put so much time and hard work into the season.
Absolutely. And that pass is going to be deep, and it's going to be falling incomplete. It's going to be another turnover on downs, and Rock Creek is going to be taking the ball over. So now when it comes to the 3A playoffs, if you look at the whole entire states on both sides, the East and the West, there's a total of 32 teams. So basically, if you look at it like the March Madness tournament, it's already the second round. And just like the March Madness tournament, at the end of the day, there's only going to be one team left standing. So that means that there's 31 teams that are going to be feeling the same way that Smoky Valley's feeling tonight. And it's a dog-eat-dog world, and you just hope that person that's feeling that way isn't your team.
That's exactly right. That's, we always told the kids that it's something special to be in the playoffs. You never want to take it for granted. And because each week you cut the teams that are still alive in half. And Rock Creek has been to the Final Four 3 times. And, that's our goal, to get back to that final game. And, it'll probably be Andale, which will be a tough road, but, boy, it'd be nice to get there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And looking at looking at the western side of the bracket, of course, Rock Creek, just keep watching the game. We'll let you know of anything fun that comes up, but we'll just start start talking with especially with the running clock. We're going to be having some limited time, but just kind of looking at the bracket. So we are the 2 seed in the western side of the state. Smoky Valley is the 15 seed. So our next matchup is going to be next Friday night, 7 o'clock, right here at the Rock in game number 23 of the playoffs. And so tomorrow night, it's going to be Trinity Academy, the 10 seed, hosting number 7 seed Heston. So we'll be playing the winner of that contest. On the other side of our bracket, we've got the 3rd seed, which is Holcomb. They're going to be traveling to Colby to take on Colby. And then at the bottom side of that, it's going to be Cheney and Concordia. So basically, we're advancing tonight. We're going to be playing the winner of Heston and Trinity Academy next week. After that, it would be the winner of Holcomb Colby, Cheney Concordia, should we advance. And then the week after that, before you make it to the state championship game, would be the big game against Andale. Because looking at the other side of the western brackets, Andale does host Chapman tomorrow night as the number 1 seed in the West. Clay Center is playing Scotts. Pratt is taking on Anthony Harper Chaparral. And then Hugoton and Colgate, Wichita Colgates, will be the other games on the other side of the bracket. So lots of big teams in there, lots of heavy hitters, Coach. Once you start getting into the playoffs, just like March Madness, it's one game at a time, and it's a long road to hoe. It really is.
It is, and it's a long road, but it goes so fast.
It does.
Because there are so many, they're new teams, and so you're not familiar with them, so you watch film of all the games they've played throughout the season. It makes it easier now because everything's on huddle, everything's online. Where back in the old days, I had to go meet coaches, halfway across the state. We would meet on a Saturday morning and trade film. So it's a lot different now.
It is. And actually looking at, so I just Googled it. I could have asked you, but I didn't realize, but Trinity Academy's in Wichita.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, these teams that you don't know, not only teams that you've never faced before, but teams you've never even heard of before.
Right. Well, we know where Colby is. It's halfway to Denver, or in other words, it's middle of nowhere.
That is the Oasis on the Prairie.
It is.
They've got the City Walk. Like, you can go get yourself Qdoba, City Walk, anything inside the Oasis on the Prairie. And we always look forward to that to go to Denver. That's our lunch.
Yep.
Denver's 500 miles on the dot from Manhattan, and I'm pretty certain Colby's 250 of that. Straight up on the dot. As, again, running clock here from the Rock, here, Rock America. Rock Creek all night since the opening kickoff returned. It was a big opening kickoff that was returned by Jacob Perkins. I mean, Rock Creek was up 7-0 with 12 seconds off the clock, and it's been Rock Creek all night to be a score of 56-0.
Yeah, and that pretty well set the tone for the whole night.
It
that
did.
Kick return. I mean, you just kind of felt that our guys were here to play.
And they've proven it all night. I mean, been hot on both the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we just name-dropped him. Jacob Perkins, the sophomore, just came back off an injury, had a broken hand. He's been out the last 4 or 5 weeks. Came back tonight, returned the opening kickoff, and then he's added 2 more scores as far as a receiver. We had Tate Smith, a couple on the ground. Zion Bell got his 20th touchdown of the season. Peter Martini had a 76-yard touchdown catch straight down the middle, just a home run ball. It's one of those. It kind of reminded me of Avery Johnson and Jace Brown and Lawrence on Saturday. Actually, same distance. That was a 75-yarder, and this was 76. Same kind of thing instead of sideline versus the middle, but it has been Rock Creek all night with highlight play after highlight play.
It has. And as well as the offense has played, the defense has been really awesome too. I mean, the defense has just given Smoky Valley hardly anything. Everything was so tough for them to earn a yard. They had a couple pass plays that got them first downs, but I think there was only 1 or 2 plays that actually was able to gain by rushing the ball, and that's the key to their offense. They have to be able to run the ball. They run the ball 79% of the time. I saw the stats coming in, and tonight it wasn't that way.
As Smoky Valley gets an unfortunate snap on that play, that's gonna push the ball way back. So it's gonna be 4th down and long to go now. I mean, they gotta go for it. You gotta go for it. You can't punt the ball again.
No, and now they have a lot of their young guys in too. So their young guys are also getting to play tonight, where normally they're not going to play in a playoff game, and so it's going to give them some good experience too.
Of course, it was a 49-0 halftime score. It's been a running clock all second quarter. So if you're watching the game and you're just now joining us, welcome. If you're from Lindsborg, thank you so much for watching this production from Backroads Broadcasting. We do thank you guys for coming to the Rock and also watching this awesome coverage on YouTube. Technology is so cool these days to not only where you just hear the game, but you can actually watch us. If we annoy you a little bit too much, you can just turn down your volume and just watch the game.
Well, it is great for the people that can't get out to the games and watch the games. I've watched a lot of the games online because it's pretty easy to watch it from your chair at home.
It is. And actually, I just pulled it up. There's 83 people watching on YouTube. So everybody that's watching this on YouTube right now, shout out to you. We sure appreciate you. As Rock Creek does take over the ball now, 1st down and 10. 2 receivers to the left. It's going to be a pitch outs. Yeah, we're going to have to go back to the old-fashioned. Coach, we're going back to the old-fashioned rooster. As Evan Tim, the freshman, gets some action here, takes the ball. No gain on the play. He's going to lose a couple yards, in fact. But nevertheless, man, it's playoff football, and he's able to get some playing time at the varsity level.
Well, and it's good for these linemen to get to work together. You know, they had a great JV football season this year, so now they're getting to play on the varsity level, and it's fun for everybody to play in a playoff game.
I love the culture that Rock Creek has really created as Gavin Rosa hands the ball off now once again to Tim. Tim, just a gain of a couple yards on that play. But I do love the culture, and honestly, it goes back to the Mike Beam days. I've said this several times, but from the high school team to the JV team to the freshman team, even my nephew just came in here in his little monkey costume. He's been playing football. He's a 5th grader on the Rock Creek 5th grade team, and even they had a great season. Yeah. And they're all bought into Rock Creek.
Yeah, the school has just really exploded too in size. When I first came here in 1992, we didn't even have a practice field. They practiced the first year in the front yard of the school. And so first thing we did was harvest the corn and make a practice field.
Hopefully it's a bumper crop for you.
Yeah, but, things have really changed here, and it's grown. And but, boy, their sports programs, volleyball's playing again in the state tournament. Had a run to the state championship last year.
Baseball's had some success. Basketball state runner-up.
Baseball, softball. Track had its best year last year. It all the way around.
Well, look at the names of the kids running cross-country at Cross Country State in Wamego on Saturday morning. Just even then, too.
Yeah.
Every sport is on fire right now.
It is. And then besides the sports, there are so many other activities that, you may not hear about, but, like the choir going down and singing the national anthem at the K. Cool. Things like, that's awesome.
Well, there's a reason why this is one of the most popular school districts in the entire state of Kansas right now. There's a reason why the USA Today voted this as the #1 school district in Kansas. USA Today, they're pretty unbiased towards ranking school districts. And so, Rock Creek just has a lot going on. And you did allude to it. Just got to give a big shout-out to our volleyball team. State tomorrow, Class 4A volleyball state pool plays going down at the Hutchinson Sports Arena. We are the number 4 seed, so 32-6 on the season. St. George Rock Creek is going to be playing against Paola. We're playing the very first game of the entire tournament tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Those girls are going to have to get up, not party too hard. So my niece, I got to give her a shout-out. Being biased, Brooklyn Dye, outside hitter. That's my baby niece. Yeah. It's my sister's daughter. That's my she's my pride and joy. Prettiest girl in the whole world. She hates it when I say that. She's a senior in high school. She one day will grow to appreciate me saying this, but best of luck, nevertheless, to the Rock Creek Mustangs volleyball team tomorrow at the Acacia State playoffs. Bring home the championship, ladies, and the football team will try to bring home the championship themselves.
They've had a lot of success the last couple of years.
They've had a great amount of success, and the playoff run last year was great. They went up against a pretty tough Bishop Miege team that won their 3rd straight championship at 29th overall.
And I won't talk about the private school side. So.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. We'll do it from the Rock. Final score in the opening round of the Acacia 3A playoffs as your number 2 seed, Rock Creek Mustangs, take care of business over the number 15 seed, Smoky Valley Vikings, with a final score of 56-0. Once again, I'm Tyler Jackson, joined alongside by legendary head coach from Rock Creek, Mr. Coach Mike Beam. We'll be back here in just a few minutes with some post-game words, get you set up on next week's second round playoff action live from the Rock. This is exclusive coverage of Mustang football on Backroads Broadcasting. Once again, welcome back to the Rock. St. George, Flush, Westmoreland, Pottawatomie County, America, baby. Rock Creek Mustangs opening round of the 3A Acacia State Football Playoffs. The number 2 seed taking care of business over the 15 seed. All Mustangs all night with a final score of 56-0. Joined alongside by legendary head coach Mike Beam. I don't think there's any other way to say that, Coach. I'm always going to call you that title. Also, our sideline guy, we have Xander Dick. So some final words from you fellas. Xander, we'll let you go first, my friend. So you're a senior in high school. You've been doing every game all season. You've been following this team very closely. Football is your favorite sport. This is what you do. Give me your thoughts, buddy. What did you think on the game tonight?
Tonight, I feel like Rock Creek played like what they've been doing all year, being physical, just having fun out there. There's really nothing I was really concerned about on the sideline down there. I mean, they did what usual, most football team players do. They cheer on one another. And, there's some frustrating points here and there, but I mean, it wasn't anything too severe. And then just immediately after, scoring a touchdown, them going right over to the screen and being able to have Coach Smith kind of, talk through and what they could have done better. But obviously, I mean, they still scored a touchdown, but, you can still always be coached up. You can still always be better. Even in the NFL, even if they score a 65-yard touchdown the very first play, there's still always a thing that they can always be better at. So, I mean, overall, just a great night for Rock Creek. For Smoky Valley, I'm an emotional guy when it comes to playoffs because I was in their shoes at one point, losing something that means, so much to you or to that program, including if you're a senior. I mean, it sucks,
Absolutely. As we see Smoky Valley, you can see it on the screen. They're joined at half field and they're at center field, and they're just, their football season's over. For some, their high school career's over, and it's just it's a sentimental moment. Looking at you, Coach. All right, you've been on both sides of the docket here. You've had those teams that have had some great success throughout the playoffs. You've also been out there huddled at midfield after a tough opening round loss. Just give me your thoughts on tonight.
Well, it's tough when you know coming into the game one of you is done for the year. You know your season's over. Regular season, you know that there's going to be next week, but the finality is pretty tough, and it's really, you feel for the kids that end their season, because you can play pickup basketball, you can play other sports. You can't go play tackle football once you graduate. Only a few will play college football, and it's still not the same as high school. So anyway, it's tough. I feel for those kids, but once again, you feel pretty good for the team in the black and silver tonight.
Absolutely. And let's go to that side of the coin. Bro, tonight, great game. My gosh, all Mustangs all night long, from the opening kickoff return from Jacob Perkins. We had a couple scores. He had 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 from the air, 1 from that opening kickoff. Tate Smith kept it a couple times himself. Had a couple QB sneaks up the middle for a couple touchdowns. Zion Bell got a touchdown. Peter Martini had a huge 76-yard touchdown catch for a touchdown. Lots of great scoring tonight for Rock Creek.
Well, and it's like we said early on, that it needed to be a clean game, and it was a clean game. There, we didn't turn the ball over. We didn't spend hardly any time in 3rd and long. You know, there was only one time I remember that it was 3rd and long, and so, you know, the guys just really played well in all 3 phases of the game.
Absolutely. And so, looking at the playoff bracket once again, setting it up for next week, it looks like we're going to be playing the winner of either Heston, the Swathers, or Trinity Academy of Wichita. It could go either way. Heston is the 7th seed, so just by default, kind of the favorite in that ball game. What if you're Coach Sieben, or I mean, even in all your years of doing this, what are you telling your boys in the locker room after this game tonight, after a huge win tonight, but knowing that there's way more chicken left on the bone?
Well, and that's what you have to do. You have to tell them, you know, that you could be in the same spot Smoky Valley is next week, checking in your equipment, and the things would, you know, the season be over. So you got to prepare just a little bit harder than you do for the regular season. You know, everybody says it's always the next game, and it is, and that's what they'll have to focus on, is either Heston or Trinity Academy. And I've watched a couple games of Heston already. You know, they're not as Heston used to be a powerhouse, and they're not quite as good as they've been in the past. Riley County played them this year 2 weeks ago and beat them. And but I don't know. I haven't seen Trinity Academy play yet, but whoever's next, that's who we'll just play whoever comes up on the schedule.
1 week at a time. It's the round of 32. The opening week off. We do move on to the Sweet 16. Beat that game next week, then you're in the Elite 8, then the Final 4, and then before you know it, you're in the state championship game as we hear the victory bell. The time-honored tradition for every win outside the locker room here at the Rock. Once you hear the victory bell ringing, you know an angel has gotten its wings.
That's right.
Without a doubt, as Rock Creek advances yet once again. This time, taking care of business over Smoky Valley with the final score of 56-0 and a huge opening win of the 3A playoffs. Coach Beam, my friend, it's been a lot of years, but it is such an honor to be able to do another game with you, my friend.
It's been awesome. Yeah. We'll have to do it again.
I think we'll have to do it again. Unfortunately, guys, I do have to tell you, I won't be here next week. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'd mentioned this, but it's the Flint Hills Hot Air Balloon Festival, and I'm the communications guy for it. So
I have a knee replacement on Tuesday, so I may not be here.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, we got like
Xander, you're on your own, buddy.
You might have to.
Yeah, we're popping this on you guys all on air. But anyway, well, so you are getting your knee replaced on Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah.
Oh, my friend. Well, best of luck to you on that one.
Thank you.
You're going to come ride hot air balloons. I know a guy next weekend. Come see us, Northeast Community Park, Annenberg Park. But nevertheless, we are saying goodbye from The Rock. On behalf of our executive producer, Cody Roach, from our director, we've got Cody Liming. From our sideline reporter, we have Xander Dick. What was your name? What'd you do? Yeah, we have Nathan Bortnick, too. He helped us out. Shout out to you. I like the wig tonight. For our color analyst, Coach Mike Beam, the legendary, I am Tyler Jackson. This is Backroad Broadcasting. We'll see you guys next week. Or better yet, we'll BRB.